Hey, what's going on? Happy Saturday evening. I want to tell you a quick story about my buddy Joe Ingram and talk to you about how how I want to ask you, like, how are you getting people? Justin Jarek is on here. Shut the front door. Oh my gosh, the most popular man on the entire internet is on my stream right now. This guy is the most popular guy on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. Like, this dude is a rock star, friend of mine, client of mine, buddy of mine. Freaking dude just got at 29 years old, got promoted to the general manager of a car dealership because he is killing it. What's up, Colleen? What's going on? So, Justin, dude, my brother from another mother, congratulations to you, man. That company is lucky to have you. I mean, they are lucky. You're a good dude, man. Love you like a little brother, man. Really do. Colleen, Tammy, Jim, what's up? Asa, Steph, how in the world are you? Let me say something, you guys. Look, here's the deal. You got to be able to make a splash. You got to be able to make a difference. You got to be able to make an impact that stays with people. Justin, by the way, thank you for the shout out on your live stream today. I appreciate that, bro. So you got to be able to make a difference, man. You got to make a splash. You got to make a statement. You got to make sure people don't forget you. And my buddy, I'm telling you, Joe Ingram, I had Joe on the show. What was it, last week before? And he was showing me all of his props. I'm like, dude, I love that. And I love that. Hey, what's up, Mike Scott? And so he sends me a box filled with all kinds of stuff today. Literally, like, look, I don't even know if I can hold all of this in one hand, but look at all these pens branded for the BDC Genius. BDC Genius. That stands for Business Development Center. He's got bracelets that say ring, ring. Other side is Sales Genius. He sent me that. He has a mouse pad that says BDC Genius with all these scripts and which I would never use because I'm not in the car business. But like, check it out. He sends me this pad folio thing with BDC Genius on it. You open it up and look. Oh, but wait, there's more. There's notepads with BDC Genius all over it. There's the inside BDC Genius with his phone number and a note and a pad to, like, come on, man. And then I'm like, dude, I love this one button. And hey, like, if this offends you, I apologize up front, but I got to show you this. There's this button and you push it and listen to what it says.
Bitches be tripping.
Oh, that's so funny. BBT, right? Big Blue Truck. So yeah, he's the BDC Genius, dude. BDC Genius. So check it out. And then he sends me this. Now I'm going to lose half of my audience here, but that's all right. Check it out. That is freaking awesome. Look at that. That is so funny. It literally is like a real piece of currency. And he sent me that. That is so hilarious. Like, he sent me this $20 bill. He sent me a few of them. It's unbelievable. Of course, it says Trump 2020. But anyway, so, like, look, I love what Joe Ingram has done, and like, you should get 50% more. But like, look, he sent this whole package. There is no way I'll ever forget Joe Ingram. No way. It's literally burned into my mind now that this dude sent me all this stuff, like all these notepads. Like, look, just in case I ever decide to sell cars, vehicle of interest, name, number, appointment date and time, and notes. So if I want to sell cars, I'm set, man. I could just start right here, right? So like, Joe, thank you, dude. You seriously are amazing. And I just want to, man, dude, good job. I mean, for real. Like, and if you don't like any of the stuff, like,
Bitches be tripping.
I got I got the button for it now. Dude, that's awesome. Joe, you rock. So that's how you make a statement. That's how you make sure people don't forget you. That's how you make sure people don't forget you. You go the extra mile. That probably cost him, I don't know, 25 bucks maybe. I don't know, maybe more with everything, right? But I'm never going to forget him. What's up, Tsunami Plays? What's going on over on YouTube? For those of you that don't see Tsunami Plays on here. So look, and I'm telling you, so I'm like, here, I'm looking for something. So I'm talking with, last night I was talking with Eric Swanson, and he's been on the stream. I met him because of Joe. And that's the other thing. Joe's like, hey, you need to meet this person and this person and this person and get them on your show. And he's making those connections. And that's what I'm talking about. That's how you make a difference. Joe's on here. I used to use public nudity to be remembered. Swag is here. Oh my God, dude, you're crazy. Tammy Hamilton, congratulations to you guys down there in Georgia. I know you just won an award or something. Good job in your dealership down there with my buddy Tammy Woodard. Y'all are killing it. You're killing it. So Joe Ingram, dude, good job. But so as I was talking to Eric Swanson, he started talking about, all these domains, and I don't know how many. I own 50 or 60, 70 domains. I buy them all. Sometimes I'll put them up on the auction block. Sometimes I'll just let them go. But I'm like, you know what? Like, people have been calling me the king of social. People have introduced me as the king of social. And I said, hey, I'm going to be the king of TikTok. Right. And so what did I do today? I went, if you go to kingoftiktok.com, check it out. Just go to kingoftiktok.com, TikTok, King of TikTok, or the King of TikTok. If you go to thekingofsocial.com, all of them now are being redirected to kenwalls.com because I'm branding myself. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, man. You got to learn how to brand. You got to learn how to freaking grab something like a domain, a $10 investment to buy a domain and redirect it to your main website. Like, you got to do things that make you stand out. Justin Jarek is a perfect example of that too. The dude just got promoted to GM, 29 years old, and he just got promoted to general manager of a car dealership at 29 years old, which I don't know what the record is, but that seems pretty significant to me. And, then we've got Joe out here sending me literally, I was like, man, this is like a flipping care package. It's insane. It's insane. So look, and Justin is a buddy of mine. He's a client of mine. I've been, we've worked together on some things. I love that kid. He's freaking like, always got this positive energy, this really happy, positive energy. And he's been a GSM at this car dealership, and he takes that positive, no matter what is going on in his life, he takes that positive energy, that happy, positive energy to his team to work every single day. Even if he's having a bad day, he's still on point. And that is why he is now the GM of a dealership. That's why, I promise you, has nothing to do with education, has nothing to do with his level of intelligence. I'm not saying he's dumb. He's a very smart kid, right? Dude, he's a smart guy, man. I said kid. I'm 51. You're 29. I can call you a kid. So look, What are you doing to make sure that people remember you? Tammy Hamilton, you know, if I were you, Tammy, I know you're a GSM at a dealership, right? I would get really creative with some domains. I know you're in Hoboken. I would be like, you know, the hobokencarqueen.com or something. I don't know, but I would do something that really separates you and redirect that to your own page or to your Facebook page. Make sure you have a business, a fan page, a business Facebook page. Make sure you have that. All of this stuff, by the way, a lot of it's in my course. Most of the stuff I'm talking about is in my course. So, like, make sure that you have these things in place. So when somebody goes and looks up the Hoboken Car Queen or whatever. I'm just making that up, but like, you know, they go to that and they're like, bam, it shows up right there on your Facebook page if you can't get a website or whatever right now. Melissa Diaz says, LOL, I used to send cookies to my customers when I was a vendor. Exactly. That's doing stuff that separates you. I just sent something to a client of mine 2 days ago that they'll get here in 2 or 3 days that I know they will not forget me. And it's my largest client. I sent them something cool and I know they're not going to forget me. So one of the ways I got on Grant Cardone's radar, it's on my website. You know, I knew that he liked wine. I had custom bottles made up of this wine, put labels on it with him and Elena and the girls, his kids, and had these custom labels made up, had private labeled bottles of wine, put my assistant on an airplane up in a hotel, flew her to Miami, and she waited the next morning in the lobby of Grant's building for him and Elena to show up, and she hand delivered these bottles of wine. Grant called me that morning. He called me and said, dude, I can't believe you did this. This is unreal. What are you doing to make sure people don't forget who you are? What are you doing? You've got to do things that make sure that people don't forget who you are in your business, in your whatever it is in your industry. Like Frank Crinitti, one of my dearest friends on planet Earth, just talked to him a little bit ago. The dude has a red carpet ceremony for every person that buys a car. When you buy a car from Frank, you go into on the red carpet behind the red ropes like you would see in Hollywood. And there's a step and repeat banner behind you and him. And he's standing there with thumbs up and you're smiling. You get a picture on the red carpet. I mean, you literally get red carpet treatment and service from Frank Crinitti, and that separates him. That separates him from everyone else. People are like, well, how can you make $1 million a year selling cars? Call Frank and ask him. He'll tell you. So Bob Donnell says, is it Donnell or Donnell? Donnell. I'm going to go with Donnell. I used to bring new high-end, no soliciting signs when I would cold call to them. Always created a laugh and also I love that, dude. That's an awesome idea. That is an awesome idea. I love those look, Frank Crinitti is calling me right now. Literally right now. I should put him on. Hang on. Hey, Frank, you're on the air live right now. I got you on speakerphone. I'm doing a live stream, dude, right now. I was literally just talking about you.
Really? I didn't even know, man. How's everybody doing? All right. Facebook, I love it. I'm live.
I said, dude, he's calling me right now. I'm going to put him on speaker.
That's hilarious.
Is that funny?
What are we talking about?
How are you getting people to make sure that you're not forgotten in your business or your sales career? And I just said Frank Crinitti, one of my dearest friends in the world. He created something that is it's the red carpet service, the red carpet treatment that you give, right?
Everything is calculated that I do.
Everything
down to the thumb, down to the angle of the picture that we take, down to the pictures on all the social media being pretty much all the same picture because that's my brand, right?
The thumb. I'm holding up your thumb thing right now.
Right, it's my thumb. Everybody knows my big, goofy, bent backwards thumb that just looks like it's misformed, but it's just that I'm double jointed and I have really big hands, so it just looks like, really weird. But everybody knows that. I get the thumbs up everywhere. If the thumb up made a sound, I'd be getting beeped at all day.
Right.
Beep, 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 beep. People are always like, "Yo," to throw a thumb up at me.
But that's awesome.
That's what it is. That's the slogan that I've made up.
That's awesome,
for
dude.
myself. Who's next, right?
Yep.
So
who's next? Hashtag.
You need to be consistent, right? Disney has the Mickey ears. Coca-Cola has this iconic can. Everybody has this this brand, and they don't switch it up, right? It's just it stays that is the brand. So you got to make sure your brand, whatever it is that you make it so it's recognizable,
dude,
and make it so it's consistent.
I'll bet everybody thinks we planned this.
You usually call me about 6,452 times.
Oh yeah, I do.
So,
yeah,
one time I was actually calling you back.
Right. All right, dude. Well, listen, man, I'll buzz you back. Jump on the live stream. Say what's up.
All right, I'll jump on.
I'll see you, bro. Thanks for calling. That's hilarious. So there you have it. Like, you got to do things that are separating you from everyone else, man. You got to do things that are going to separate you from everyone else. Make a difference, make an impact. Make an impact. One of the things I know for sure is Grant Cardone will not forget me. From maybe if he grows super, super old and gets loses his thinking or whatever, but I'm gonna tell you, he won't forget the fact that I had my assistant I flew her to Miami and she showed up with custom bottles of wine. And there's other many other examples I could give of other people. I've put people on airplanes to deliver a box of cigars to clients and customers, and so you got to do stuff that separates you from everyone else. Think it through. Like I said, I bought thekingofsocial.com. Hang up and live me in. Here, I'll send you an invite. Let's do it. Hold on. I'm going to get Frank Cranitti on here with me. Yo, Frank, while I'm looking this up to send you the link, share this out. Share it out, bro. Share it out. So everybody can, let's see. Here we go. Dang it. What's it doing? Hold on. I'm going to get Frank Cranitti on the stream with us right now. Just sent you the link in Messenger, bro. Jump on in here, man. Jump on in. So, hang up and live me in. Is that, I hope that's what he meant. If that's not what you meant, let me know. So, we're going to have Frank on here any second. So the point of this was really to talk about Joe, the BDC genius Joe, sending me all of this stuff. A mouse pad, all of these things he sent. It's insane. Probably my favorite. That's just awesome right there. That is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious that he sent that. And the dude is awesome. So, that's what I initially came on here for, is to talk about, Joe. I'll never forget him ever because of what he sent. And to him, it's like, dude, I give those things out all the time to people, notepads and pens. And by the way, I tested these pens, and these are some really super nice writing utensils. So that's awesome. Thank you for all these pens, Joe. This is awesome. So, all right, Frank, you coming in, dude? You coming in? I don't know. Is he coming in? Let's see what he's doing. So, what are you doing to make a difference, to make sure people don't forget who you are? There he is. Hold on. There he is. What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy?
Hang on. The audio will catch up with your face in a minute. It takes a second. Hey, do you have your AirPods nearby? I'm getting a lot of feedback. You might have to leave and come back in, bro, if it doesn't connect. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hang on. 2 seconds. We'll be there.
Okay. 2 seconds. Up, it froze. So it froze. That means you have to close it and come back. So what are some of the things that you're doing to make sure that people don't forget you? What are some of the things that you're doing to make sure that people remember you? There he is. There he is, the man, the myth, and the legend, wearing his Clark Kent glasses.
I am Batman.
Yeah.
You caught me in my pajamas, bro.
Batman and Clark Kent.
That's right. All mixed up into one.
That's right,
You
dude.
got it.
So what are some of the things, I mean, I was telling people about, and I'm sure a lot of people know already, but what are some of the things that you do? I need to run out in the kitchen real quick. I'm going to give you the screen for a minute, but tell people some of the things that you do, because you sell cars, but you work for yourself. Right. Like
well, people always invite me on these shows, and then they're like, well, okay, tell everybody who you are. And I'm like, no, because if they don't already know who I am, and this isn't me being cocky and me being conceited, right? If they don't already know who I am, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Right? That's my fault for not posting as much, for not, infiltrating their circles, for not, putting myself out there every single day in every single way that I know how to make myself memorable. If God came down today and said, Frank, I can give you one of two options. You can either be the best salesman in the world, right? And whatever doors that unlocks for you, it unlocks for you. Or I can dine you in. You could be the best marketer in the world. I would choose best marketer every single time, 100% of the time, right? Because that's what people remember. You marketing every single day. As much as you can. So that's why my brand is so consistent. So to be consistent, if you look at all my Facebook page, my Instagram, my LinkedIn, I think every single picture right now is exactly the same, because I want everybody to be able to jump on there, and as soon as they see it, they remember. They don't have to think, is that Frank? Is that Frank with this big goofy thumb? What's he doing? That's why all my pictures are set up with the red carpet and the velvet rope, and I stand to the left and everybody else stands to the right, and then I make sure everybody does the big goofy thumbs up, and people are excited to do that when they come in. They're like, oh man, we didn't know where that thing was in a dealership, because you can't tell. It's behind my finance manager's office. So when they're sitting in Damien's office the entire time, they're just staring at this wall, the step and repeat, the Who's Next, Frank's Fan step and repeat with the red carpet and the velvet rope. So they have no choice but to take their picture on there. So to keep showing up and to be consistent is really the key. You can't do it just a couple times. You can't take pictures, in front of a car and then move, and in my business, the car business, and then move and take pictures, out front of the dealership, and then move and take pictures just with customers. It needs to be consistent. So this way people remember you. So if people don't remember me, that's my fault for not showing up enough. And I should be posting more. I don't know who you are, but I live in the north of Europe. Well, Asa, 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 I guess that's how you say that. Well,
that's
welcome.
right.
That's
Asa
awesome.
Engman.
Asa Engman.
She's awesome, man.
You don't know who I am because you're over in Europe, but when I want to dominate Europe, you're going to start seeing me over there and whatever it is that I want to do over in Europe.
Dude, I think that people, especially in sales, I mean, look, we all have bills to pay. We have things going on, but if you're in sales or you own a business, you've got to do things that make people remember who you are. And I think that's what you've You've
Listen,
probably
it's
done better than anyone in the
yeah.
car business.
I am not the world's best car salesman. Okay. I am a car salesman, no doubt. I'm very proud of it. I love being a car salesman. Anybody tells me I don't make up some phony baloney PC title, sales consultant, customer service rep. No, I'm a salesman.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do the best is I make myself memorable every single day, right?
Yeah.
Throughout the whole process, I make sure everybody has my cell phone number. Throughout the whole process, I make sure everybody gets me on social media. They know where to find me, because if you can't find me, you can never buy from me, and you can never refer to me,
That's
right?
right.
So that's why everybody that I keep as my friends are people in my geographic area, people that can buy from me or refer to me. That's why Asa doesn't know who I am, because she's not in my geographic area, right? So,
Right.
I can't sell her a car. Could I possibly? Yeah, great. But my chances of selling her a car are extremely limited. I'd
Right.
rather be the mayor of my area, right? Than I
Yep.
would rather be the president of the country or the ruler of the free world in the sales that I'm in, because it's the geographic based business that I'm in. So
Right.
I need to become the most popular person in the area. And most businesses are geographic, right? Most of the time you're selling to people that are right around you. So you don't need to be, I don't need to be the number one most popular car salesman in the country.
Right.
I just need to be the number one most popular salesperson in my area and dominate that area. Too many salespeople in my industry worry about becoming friends with all these other salespeople all over the country and being popular, and talking in all these little cliques and groups and all that. And I think it's a huge waste of time and assets, social media assets. Because that's really what this is. It's an asset that can be one of my 5,000 friends on my personal page.
Yeah.
It's an asset right out. So I protect those 5,000. I don't want to just friend somebody that doesn't bring anything to the table, or can't buy or refer to me. So that's how I stay memorable, is local.
Yeah.
I take my 5,000 to the extreme. I want them all to be my friends, my family, my coworkers that they can buy from me, or my clients, and that's it. That's absolutely it.
I started this talking about, um, do you know Joe Ingram?
Yeah, I know, Joe.
So Joe, he's branded himself as the BDC genius,
Mm-hmm.
and he sent me all these notepads, and he sent me a BDC genius pad folio thing, and all these pens, and all these, like, all this stuff. I got this, he was on my show the other day, and he's like, "What's your address? I want to send you a couple things." And I'm like, "All right." And so I get this huge box of stuff today, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, man,
Right.
that I won't forget the guy. It's impossible
Well,
now."
you won't forget the guy until you lose the pen and you're out of the notepad, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
those things
Yeah.
are important. Like they're important to spend a little bit of money on the thumbs and the right. That's something that's going to sit around on your desk there. So
I even got one
that's
with your signature on it.
oh, I know. I'm going to hear about that later. I know. So don't worry. But what I'm trying to say to you is, it's those things are important and they're great, and everybody loves a little trinket and a pen and everything like that, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. But you don't just put your name on those things and then all of a sudden people remember who you are, or
Right.
people want to buy, or people want to refer to you, right?
Right.
You have to build your brand. Your
Yep.
brand is what you're about. You don't just come up with some quippy slogan, right?
Yeah.
That's what Who's Next is. It's a slogan. It's
Right.
not my brand, right? The thumb is just part of my slogan. It's
Right.
not my brand. My brand is what I do every day on a consistent basis. The way that I help everybody every single day, and then put myself out there so that everybody else knows what my brand actually is. My brand is be 100% transparent with you. It's your buying process, not my selling process.
Right.
However, the information that you want, that's how we're going to give it to you. We're not going to hide anything. We're not going to fight you on anything. We're going to make it a world-class customer experience. We are going to literally and figuratively roll out the red carpet for you like you are buying a Bentley and
Yep.
you're only spending $16,000 on a Honda. We're going to give you that world-class service, 24/7 access to Frank Cornetti. Here's my cell phone, social media, Instagram, email,
Yep.
instant message, whatever it is. You need something from me, you reach out to me. I am 100% going to get back to you. That's the brand,
Yep.
not the book, not the pen, not the thumbs up, not the step and repeat.
Yep.
That's what your brand is, who you actually are, right?
Yep.
That's what gets you the following. But to be consistent and show up and show the same picture every time and do the same things every single time. Listen, I sold like 10 cars today, right? It would have been really easy for me to slack off and say, I'm too busy. I can't take a picture, right? I
Right.
can't. And then all that is me lying to myself and trying to win by addition, right? You're trying to win by one sale at a time, one sale at a time, one
Yep.
sale at a time. I know that's my 101 that you cannot win by addition. You cannot dominate an industry. You can't dominate. You can't win and effectively dominate anything if
Right.
you're trying to do it by addition, right? We have to do it by
Multiplication.
multiplication.
Yeah.
Multiplication is I'm
Yep.
going to friend you. I'm going to see you. I'm going to get inside your circles because all your people that I just tagged you in are going to see
Yep.
that. I'm going
Yep.
to respond to them. They're going to see me. And that's your brand. That's how you keep yourself out there, right?
And then,
So
something else that you do that you're not talking about right now, and I've seen you do it because I spent 8 days over there with you. Is
it grows longer and longer every time we talk. Just so you know, it started
I
out like 6 days.
no, this is 8 days,
It was
dude.
it was a week before, and now it's 8
It
days.
was,
But go.
yeah, that it was one day more than a week. I think I left on the 8th day. But anyway, so the other thing that you do is you're constantly going back in your CRM and pulling out records from a year ago, 2 years ago, and you're shooting them text messages, you're sending
Sure.
little videos, you're doing all kinds
Listen,
of cool stuff to
the,
stay on
the,
their radar.
it's not cool stuff. It's this. Write this down.
No,
This is the most important word in all of sales. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a guru. I don't care if you're a dominant force in whatever industry you're at, or you're a green pea. The number one word in sales, right? The only thing that you should be concentrating on is prospecting.
yep,
That's it, right?
yep,
I would be lying to myself if I say I could just sit around and all these people are going to show up and buy cars from me. I mean, they probably would for a while,
right,
but then that just starts to die off, right? So, salespeople call me up all the time, people I'm training or people I'm talking to, and they'll be like, man, I had this ridiculous month. It was great. I sold, 42 cars. And I'm like, great. It's already February, if it's not, but it's already February 3rd,
right,
and we're still talking about January. Okay.
right,
What are you doing? Because then February goes like this. It's that roller coaster ride. I don't
yep,
want to be on a roller coaster. I want to be on a rocket ship when I'm in sales, right? So
yeah,
sales, the number one way to do that, prospecting. You know what nobody wants to do?
prospect,
Prospect. You know
yeah,
why? Because it sucks, right?
yeah,
It sucks. And this is what we lie to ourselves about. I'm real busy. I don't have time to make the cold call, the warm call, whatever temperature call you want to call it.
right,
It's a call. Just get on the phone,
yep,
right? People say I sent out, I prospect today. No, you sent 3 text messages. You looked at all the rest of the papers. You stacked them up on your desk and you put them back in your file.
yeah,
I prospect today. I went through, I sent hundreds of text messages out, right?
yep,
You want to have extraordinary results, you have to take extraordinary measures.
yep,
Hundreds of text messages on Thursday, right?
yep,
Hundreds of phone calls all week, not one day, but all week. Hundreds of phone calls
yep,
all week. Facebook posts, instant messages. It's insane the amount of pages of instant message, text message, email, phone calls, however telepathic people are trying to get a hold of you, whatever it is,
yep,
I get back to you every single time, right? But
yep,
there are people trying to get a hold of you. I need the prospect actively and try to get a hold of people to bring them forward. And I have to have a reason why you're calling. Here's what most salespeople do when they call. Hey, Ken, it's Frank. Just touching base, right? Wanted to make sure everything was great. And oh, by the way, if you're ever interested in maybe like upgrading your car, just think of me, man. Remember me. They don't want to be. You got to give me a reason why you're calling me. If you're calling me in the middle of the day, right,
Yep.
you better have a damn good reason why you're calling me. So I always have a reason that I'm calling you. There's always an objective. I'm going to make you feel like I'm calling you because it's your best interest to listen to me for the next 2.5 minutes, right? So
Yep.
I'm always going to have a reason why I'm calling you. I'm not going to call you to BS you. I'm going to call
Right.
you because, Ken, guess what? You have 6 months left on your lease. And guess what? Now is the time. Last month wasn't. Next month may not be. Right now is the time. I can pull you forward right now. I need your car for my inventory. Can you bring it in later today or would tomorrow be better for you? I have the same exact model with the same exact payment within a few dollars of what you're paying. I need to get you in now. We need this right now. I'm going to have a purpose for my
Right.
phone call. A phone call or prospecting without a purpose is just watering down your crying wolf,
Yep.
right? It's the old crying wolf thing. Because now the next time I call you, you're going to think I'm BSing you because I did the last time. I called you without a purpose. Just calling to touch base to see if maybe if I threw my fishing rod into this pond and with no bait on it at all, maybe a fish would jump on the hook. It's not going to happen, right?
Right.
That's not going to happen. I
Nope.
need a purpose. I'm going fishing. I'm gonna worm the line up. I'm gonna make sure I got my bobber, my sinkers, my weights, everything on there that I need to make sure that when I put the bait in the water, whoosh,
Yep.
reeling the fish in, right?
Yep.
And the fish is happy to be reeled in this case because I called them with a purpose. I
Right.
was purposely prospecting. Okay,
Yep.
that's gonna be the name of my next book. So you and Jill can help me write that. Okay, purposely prospecting.
Yeah.
Have a freaking purpose when you call somebody. That's where
What
you'll grow
like
your brand.
if you were to be, let's say that it was out and I mean dude, you've done more than car sales. I mean you're doing you're doing unbelievably well in car sales, but let's say that you're selling anything else. Like what are some other reasons to call somebody? Like, and I agree with you, totally agree with you.
Well, you just have to have a purpose, right? So there has to be a purpose for the call. Like I wouldn't call you if me and you had nothing to talk about because all we
Right.
do is, how you doing? Good. Okay.
Yep.
Why are you calling me? That's basically what I'm thinking in the back of my
Well,
head,
we're
right? So
friends. I
we're,
mean, you've
yeah,
called
I
me with
know,
no
right,
no reason.
right. But
I've gone,
there's
come on,
people.
Frank. What are we talking about?
Okay, so we're friends, right? So we're friends, so we can manage through our conversation, right?
I
Because we have
know.
a comfortability with each other. But
Yeah.
listen, there's people on this live stream that I don't know who they are, but right now they see me.
Yeah.
But if I picked up the phone and called them, right, they're gonna want to know why am I calling? So I need to have a purpose
Right.
why I'm calling. Well, listen, John, I seen the comment on my post and I absolutely loved it and really wanted to hear your perspective on why you thought that I was so condescending to Ken on this Facebook Live and didn't give him a chance to talk at all. I really need to hear from you because I want to try to grow as a human being. I don't want to sit here and just be the hog on everybody's show, right? I had a purpose. I called him with a question that I needed to hear an answer from. So
Yeah.
prospecting, number one thing you can do to grow to grow whatever market that you're in.
Yep.
That'll grow your brand, right? But people don't want to do it. They want to sit around. They want these magic widgets that
Yep.
are on Facebook. Hey, I'm going to hit a button and everybody's going to come in and buy a car from me. Just give me $5,000 and I'll do that for you. It doesn't work that way, folks. It really doesn't, So once you
Yeah.
build your brand, once you build your reputation, you need to keep that reputation going. And even if I just called you just to BS you, as a client, you would be like, dude, I got to get back to work, man. I can't talk,
Yeah.
But I call with a purpose. Every time I
That's right.
call, I make sure that I have an absolute purpose to call somebody.
Yep. Yep. So, and like Melissa just said, think about what value can you bring? Like what value can you bring? What do you have? What problem are
Right.
you going to solve? Like you're calling and say, hey, your lease is up in 6 months. That's a you're solving a problem, right?
Well, I'm not. No. I'm not calling saying your lease is up in 6 months. I'm calling you right now to tell you why now is the time that we need to be doing it, right?
Right.
Where I'm calling you to tell you that I am still here, and now is not the time. Listen, Ken, I know you're probably thinking that, it's a good, your lease is only 6 months up. So I know you're thinking right now actually isn't the greatest time. But what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that I have a time set up and you have it thinking for April, because that's when the new Honda Odyssey specials come out in the spring. When the spring pops off, the spring pop off, that's when it is, right? So I'm just because I'm not selling you right now doesn't mean I'm not prospecting and telling you what it's going to be down the future. I don't have to close the sale right now. I just have to have a purpose and be legit about it, right? So if I was calling you and it really wasn't a good deal right now, I was trying to tell you, listen, 6 months, your lease is up. I don't want you in the end of the lease. I don't want you thinking about what you're going to do when you get to the end of the lease in September. So what I have planned for you is probably April. We should be touching base because I want to make sure that I'm pulling you forward to take advantage of whatever new programs that Honda has at that point, that they will have them for the Odyssey. So be prepared, right? Because I want to get you forward thinking about what it is. So my purpose would be not to call and sell you a car today. My purpose would be to call and tell you exactly what the next steps are going to be to get you what you want, but I have a purpose for the call.
I think that, and looking through your social media posts, I mean, I'm an admin on your main page. And so I see a lot of comments, right, from customers of yours. And one of the things that they say is, I would say this is, if I were to bet, I would say this is probably the most popular thing is they say, thanks for always taking care of me, to you.
Right. That's all I care
always
about.
Taking care
That's
of me.
it.
Frank's always got my back. And I love that, man.
If I could sell 200 cars a month, but I lost that feeling, I wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't. People look at, you're right. This guy's lying. It's crazy. It's all BS. He's a salesman. It's not. Every time I get done with a customer, I look them right in the eye every single time, and I put my hand out and I say, listen, Ken, did I do a great job for you? And I feel it, right? Somebody can either tell you from their eyes and their feeling, and 99.999% of the time, they're like, man, this was just freaking awesome. Give me a hug. You know what I mean? Bring it in. You know what I mean? That's what I'm a hugger. Like, come on, hug me. The day I got to stop hugging people is the day that I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't know if you should be hugging everybody. No, I'm hugging. I'm bringing it in, man. Come on, let's go. Give me a big hug. I'm good. I don't need all this handshaking and stuff like that. Bring it in. Give me a hug, man.
Yeah.
So that is what it's all about. And when you reach that level and you can reach that many people, it's not because I'm a great salesperson. Okay. It's because I'm a great marketer. It's because I put myself out there. It's because I'm not bashful. I'm not shy. I'm not fearful of embarrassing myself. Okay. Not fearful of, putting a picture up on my Facebook page when my face looks all wrinkly and fat or something like that. And people are like, I see people back there for like 45 minutes trying to get the perfect angle on their picture. I don't give a crap. Just put my face out there. You're either going to like it or you're not, right? And like Grant says, if you don't like it, you weren't my customer anyway. Just get off my page. I don't care. Right? I don't care about the people who don't care about me. That doesn't make a difference. So if you didn't care about me, you don't want to see my face, you were never going to be my customer anyway. We were never going to get a chance to build a relationship, me and you. So I'm okay with that,
I agree, dude. I agree 1,000%.
Your brand, you're national, man. You're everywhere, right? You're Ken Walls everywhere. Every circle I go, everybody always wants to ask me about Ken Walls. What's Ken do? What's he doing? Well, Ken does about 92 different things, right? So it's really hard to brand Ken. Ken's a coach. He's a mindset coach. He's a sales coach. He's a marketer. He does websites. He fixes things in my life daily.
I'm literally sitting here taking a break from something I'm working on for you that you and I talked about. It's in the background. I can show, like, I'm constantly, but that, again, for me, look, you go to my website, it lists what I do. And I love what I do. And so And actually this week I'm headed to North Carolina, going down to hang out with Mr. Jeffrey Gittimer.
That's awesome. I love Jeffrey. Tell Jeffrey I said what's up, man.
Dude,
He is awesome.
he's amazing. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
I love chatting with him.
Him and another dude, Joe Soto, and I'm going down there, and it's a 2-day business intensive thing. And you know, it's, you know, people need to the whole point of me doing this live stream honestly was because Joe sent me all this stuff, and then I'm talking to this other dude, and we're talking about buying domains. Dude, people call me the king of social all the time. They say, dude, you're like the king of social. So and then I'm like, you know what?
You're definitely the king of live videos. My phone dings. Like you're the only guy I have that tells me when somebody's going live. But it actually didn't tell me this time for some reason. But so I was like, Ken Walls is live. Ken Walls is live. I'm like, tell me when Ken Walls isn't live. It'll be less notifications.
Dude, don't turn off notifications on me, bro. But you know,
man.
I mean, look, I love helping people, and you know that. You and I have that in common because you love helping people too.
So what are we trying to help them on this live stream do? What are we trying to
the name of the live stream, I literally titled it, "How Are You Getting People to Remember You? Lessons from Joe Ingram." And you know, now it's lessons from Frank Criniti also, and lessons from me.
You need to separate yourself from the pack, right?
Yeah.
In whatever industry you are. If not, you kind of just you all just meld together, right? So if you're not on social media right now, and I don't mean that you and your 2,000 friends that you've known since high school,
right?
If you're not willing to put yourself out there and just jump on a live randomly, right? If you're not willing to put yourself out there and tell everybody in the world what you're doing every single day, right? Tell everybody what you do. Most people that I'm friends with on social, I don't know what the frick they do.
Right.
I have no idea. I mean, I know what they did 15 years ago, right? When the last time that I've actually physically seen them in a social setting, but this is social media, right? You need to be social. People forget that. So you can't just, lie back in the bushes and, pretend like people are going to figure out who you are and where you are. So my whole thing with social media came about because it happened to me like 3 times in 2 weeks. Like I'd either be sitting in the dealership or I'd walk back into the dealership and there'd be somebody I know sitting there with another salesperson, right?
Yeah.
And I walk over, I'm like, "Oh, John, what's up, brother? Man, how you been?" Right? And John's like, "Dude, I didn't know you worked here." I'm like,
"Oh, jeez." To you?
Dude, we've known each other. This is like 9 years ago, right? I'm like, we've known each other since we were like 4, bro. You didn't know where I worked? He's like, I'm at the dealership now, like 10 years. He's like, dude, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen you since like high school. I'm like, man, I got to get mine. And I'm thinking, and I'm selling back then, 40 cars a month. I'm thinking everybody knows where I'm at. I'm killing it, blah, blah, blah. Wow. It happened like 3 times in a week. I'm like, man, what am I going to do?
Wow,
I'm going to get on Facebook. That's what I'm going to do. After I told everybody in the world, Frank Criniti will never get on Facebook. I will never do it. You know what that was? That was my fears. That was my insecurities. What will people say about me? What will people say when I was 16 years old? What old ex-girlfriend's going to come up and tell some dumb stories or, try to friend me? It was all those insecurities and all that little guy in my head telling me why not, right?
Yeah.
And they're the ones that you believe. You believe the why nots. Why would you do that? Don't put yourself out there. Don't embarrass yourself. Don't take the chance. Don't let somebody unlock, whatever I know that you did, 20 years ago or something. It's all BS, man. It's all those fears that are holding you back from everybody knowing who you are. Right. So I put myself, my life is an open book. Everybody knows for the most part what I'm doing, where I'm at with my kids. I see all these people that say, oh my God, don't talk to strangers. What? Don't talk to strangers. Well, then how the heck am I ever going to grow and meet people? Right.
Right.
Here's another one. Ready? Hold on. Keep your circles small. I don't want to keep my circles small. I
Nope.
want to expand my circles, right? So if people are telling you don't talk to strangers, why would you
Yeah.
go over there and talk to him? That guy was blah 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 back in the day.
Yeah.
Keep your circle small. This is the way that you don't get hurt. And well, you know what? I don't care if I get hurt. I'm okay. I'm not as pretty as I look. All right. I want to expand my circles. I want a
Right.
lot of circles. I want
Yeah.
to be the talk of everybody's circle. So stop trying to keep your circle small.
So
Expand your circles.
let me ask you a question, man. Is it possible to make 7 figures a year selling cars?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you know anybody that
Listen,
does it? I'm just kidding. So,
listen to me. Listen to me. The money is a byproduct of your success, right? So
absolutely.
money will never change me. When I pull up in a
Yep.
pickup truck, people look at me like I'm crazy. Like
Dude,
dude,
hold on. Wait. No,
you don't have a Mercedes, you don't have a
no,
Bentley,
no,
you don't have
bull. Nah, I'm calling BS right now. I've been in that truck. It's like something out of Back to the Future. This truck, you literally have to get an extension ladder to get into the damn thing. And it's like, I'm not kidding. I got to tell everybody, dude, this truck, what's that light thing across the top, man? Like, it's like, what's it called? A light bar or something?
the
What's it?
light bars, yeah, the light bars.
Dude, like that thing makes the lights in Las Vegas look like child's play. Like
I have the only like $85,000 Tundra in the world. It's all good. But listen, it's still a pickup truck, right?
it's amazing though.
The money doesn't mean anything. It
Right.
really doesn't, right? Money makes things easier. Absolutely. Do you need money? Do you invest money? Absolutely. Do I want to grow other businesses that I'm doing with the money that I have? Absolutely. I know where all my money's at and what it's doing all the time. But money is not my primary focus, right?
Right, I know.
If money is your primary focus, then you're doing it wrong and you're never going to be successful long term. And if you are, God bless you, but I don't think that I could ever do it. So to me,
You have a purpose, a higher purpose.
well, you have that your purpose is what fuels your passion, right? People always, you gotta have a passion or you gotta have a purpose. Well, no, the purpose that you have
Right.
is what fuels the passion inside you, right? So, my whole thing was to change, the car business, the way that it was done, the negative stigma that was always in the car business, right? People are like, oh, I'd go out and I say, listen, yeah, I'm a car salesman. People are like, oh, you're a car salesman? No, I'm a car salesman. I sell cars. Like, this is great. Like, I always wanted to get dressed up in a suit when I was a kid. Like, that's all I wanted to do was do business and get dressed up in a suit. I never really knew what being a businessman meant, but that's what I wanted to do. And I'm doing it every single day. So I'm living my purpose, right? My purpose was that I wanted to be a businessman and help people. I just didn't know what that meant or what that would entail or how it would work, but it's worked out phenomenal so far. All I do is actually solve problems for people all day.
But you're
which is
like
great.
Charlie Rocket. I saw an interview with at Charlie on Instagram. The dude's got like a ridiculous amount of followers, but like he said 8 years old he was going to school wearing a suit and carrying a briefcase.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I did.
right?
I went to Catholic school. I had to wear a tie, right? But all I wanted to do is I'd see these businessmen when I was going to school. I'm like, do I want to be? And I'm not knocking any profession, right? But you'd
Yeah.
see trash men, businessmen, people working at the convenience store, people working at the wherever, right? I just always wanted to be a businessman. That's what I wanted to do. That was my passion.
Yeah.
I worked at a pizza shop, which helped me develop my people skills and my processes, like a real busy pizza shop, right? I delivered papers when I was a kid, which actually helped me, learn how to actually knock on doors and actually talk to somebody. I delivered Avon with my mom when
Yeah.
I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. And she actually showed me what sales was all about, right?
Right.
She didn't
Right.
knock up and hand them a book and they hand them an order. She'd knock up or just open the door back then and just walk in somebody's house. Hey, it's Joan walking in, right?
Yeah.
And then sit down and have coffee
Yeah.
and donuts and whatever
Yeah.
else they were cooking up and then get the order, right?
Right.
because
Right.
my mom was building a relationship with the neighborhood.
Yep.
That's how you were selling, right? You weren't knocking up and saying, "Hey, Avon here, what do you want? Skin so soft, how much?" No,
Right.
right? That's not what it's about.
Right.
So, my whole life, I just wanted to be a businessman, and I had no idea what that meant. Like, I thought maybe I was going to work on Wall Street or something like that. Like, that's the only thing that I would see on TV, businessmen. So
Yeah.
that was kind of what I thought it would be. But now I get to solve people's problems. Am I saving lives? No,
If
for the
you put
most
them in
part.
the
But
right
I'm
car, you might be.
right. But I'm helping people's lives, right?
Right.
I'm helping them make the right decisions
Yep.
financially for their family, whatever vehicle it is. And
Yep.
then it extends way past that,
Yep.
at this point to what we're doing. So, and
I
that's
mean,
your
yeah,
brand.
and that's the other thing, and I'll bring it up since you're like, dude, you're one of the top salespeople on planet Earth, and you have the credentials to prove it, selling 120, 130 cars a month on your own.
135, 137 actually, but who's counting? It's okay.
Is that what you did last month?
No, it was last August, 2 August ago.
137.
137. Yeah.
That's
All
crazy,
by
dude.
myself, no assistance. I know everybody's blah, 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 blah. I love the haters, man. It's so
Which,
funny, right? Listen, if anybody ever told me they did something extraordinary, I would just attaboy them. I would never
yep,
question them. If somebody was able to put themselves out there and tell me they did something that I thought was extraordinary, that's awesome. Congratulations, right? Like, I want to welcome that. I don't want to say, dude, bullshit, blah, blah, blah. This guy's got 9 assists, and they don't even know, like, they're not there, right? So
right,
why would I
right,
ever question something that I couldn't see or be?
yeah,
Like, nobody puts themselves out on social media. At least I mean, that's a lie right there. 'Cause people do all the time. They lie on social
right,
media all the time, right? But to
all the time.
me, there's so many working parts around me, 155 current employees and probably hundreds and hundreds of employees that have worked with me,
Yep.
right? And nobody's ever said that's worked with me has said Frank lies about his numbers because my numbers are all real. And
I mean,
if they were BS, I got I probably got 25 salesmen that hated my guts. They quit. They would go on here and say, "Listen, he's lying. He's got 9 assistants. He's got this," but they can't because everything I say is exactly how it goes down every single time.
Tracy Shepard just called you out.
I talked to Tracy twice today. We talked for
She's
an hour
awesome.
today. I love Tracy. She
Yeah,
is an absolute rock star. They're actually
yeah,
12 dwarfs. I keep them in my drawer, and they pop out and they run around the showroom. When nobody can see them, they're so small. They're the 12
yeah.
dwarfs.
So,
That's
but
how I love them.
here's the thing that I want to point out too, that is also helping you stay in the minds of your customers and your community, and that is the you've always, I'm sure you've always been a very charitable guy, helping other people, giving back. And I'm not talking about like giving back, like, yeah, I mean, you're writing checks, you're
All the
stroking
time.
big ass checks to
All
help
the time.
people. And so then you and all the guys over there got together and you formed this thing called the Delco Group. And
Right.
the Delco Group is a charity that helps kids, basically,
Well,
right?
listen, we did that because we wanted our own purpose, right?
No, I
So
know.
we talk
I know.
we talk about purpose, and it's selfless, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of time that the 11 that are on the board and that are the Delco Group is insane, man. It's absolutely insane. The amount of time and effort and everything that everybody puts in for these 3-4 minute productions that you actually end up seeing.
Yeah.
But everything we want to do again in the public eye, so we're 100% transparent what we're doing, right? Because
Yeah.
normally you donate money to a charity and then you never see where it goes. So everything we do, you get to see right up front where it goes. But then we're also trying to win with multiplication.
Multiple.
There's the
Yeah.
answer, Ken. Multiplication, right? We're
Sorry,
trying to
I'm
win with
reading a comment.
multiplication, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. We're trying to win with multiplication. So if we just did good acts of deeds and just did them and went away and told nobody about them, I was like, why can't you do it? Just not tell anybody about it. Because that's not the way that a successful business scales itself, right? So
Right.
just like a business, a charity still needs to bring in money
Yep.
so it could give out money, right?
Yep.
So what better way to do that than to show every day where every single dollar that somebody donates to the Delco group
Yep.
goes back out into the community, right? So we're showing the good acts that we're doing, and that's bringing together this whole community. Like this whole community is rallying around this organization that we formed a year ago,
Yep.
right, on a whim, basically on 1 year ago, and the amount of support that we're getting, the momentum that we have, is
Yeah.
all because we're putting ourselves out there, and the community's feeling just as good as we are,
Yep.
and they're rallying around it, right? But if
Yep.
nobody knew who we are, if we were the secret Delco group,
Yeah.
right? And we didn't have our logo everywhere, and
Yep.
we didn't put on Facebook Live and everything that we do out in the public eye, we could
Yeah.
never get that momentum, right? We could never help more people that way.
That's
So
right.
that's why we're putting everything out there, because we know that's the right way to do it.
Right.
Not
Right.
not hide charity, right?
Right.
They put all this bad stuff out in the public eye that everybody does, but then somebody does charity and they're like, oh, why do they have to talk about that? Some people, because it should be talked about, right?
Yep.
This is the good stuff that's happening in your community, not the drugs, not the shootings, not the stuff that goes on, in everyday life that you can watch on the news every day and get your mindset totally in the wrong thing. Because if you start listening to the news and listening to the people that are on there telling you how bad everything is out there, and how bad the politicians are, and how bad the economy is, and what's going on in China, and what's going on in your local community, bro, it gets in your head. That's why I don't watch the news. I don't watch it at all, right? Because I want all positive stuff. I
Yep.
watch the news when we're on it. When the Delco group's on there.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever watch the news, actually.
Yep. I know. And the thing that I want to, like, the Delco group, if you want, I want to back up a little bit, because, like, if you watch what you guys are doing, this has nothing to do with boosting your ego or John's ego or anyone else's
No.
ego. You guys are literally doing this. And if you go to the Facebook page for the Delco group and you look at it, you're going to go, you watch some of the stories, and it's like, I mean, you guys are helping dying children and their families, and given it's similar to, like, the
Listen.
Make-A-Wish thing, right? So
Those kids deserve an experience,
right,
that them and their families are going to be able to remember, right?
yeah,
So a lot of charities just write a check and you never
yeah,
see them, you never hear from them, you don't know, and sure that money helps out, pay some bills or
yeah,
something like
sure,
that, but you're never going to remember that bill that you paid, right? When
yeah,
when the Lord comes down and says it's time for whatever person that is, right? You're never
yeah,
going to remember that $1,000 or $2,000 that somebody donated, right?
right,
But what you are going to remember and what you are going to have is that memory of the experience of going to Disney, or taking a trip, or going to a concert with your friends, in a limo bus, and getting to be on the news as a kid, right? Or
yeah,
getting to be invited to some great event that you would never probably have the opportunity to be at, right?
right,
Unless somebody else introduced you to it. So that's what we're all about. We're all about giving the memories,
right,
being transparent, because again, you're never going to remember what somebody gave you, right? You're never going to remember what somebody said,
right.
but you are going to remember how somebody made you feel,
Feel. Yep.
right? So
Amen.
if I made you feel good by being able to send you away somewhere, or
Yeah.
be able to, just get you out of what's bad going on in your daily life for 24 hours, or even just for a couple hours,
Yep.
right? That's what you're going to remember, the feeling of what that did for you, not the check, not the, not the, not the donation that somebody gave you, or the bill that somebody paid. I mean, that's all great, and people need that. I get that. But we want to go deeper than that. And that's what it's really all about. It has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with John or Mike or any of the 11 guys on there.
Yeah.
it's a selfless group, right? If we could wear faceless stuff and just go on there
Yep.
and do it, like that's what we would do. Because then people say, oh well, it's a it's helping you out, and you know what? It's actually taken away a lot from my business, and
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't care, right?
Right.
I've scaled to be as successful as I am, so I can take a step back
Yep.
to help others. That's what it's all about for me. It has nothing to do about selling more cars. If I want to make more money, it's because I want to make more money so I can write a bigger check
Right.
to give
Right.
back, right? Because I always put my money where my mouth is, right? So if I'm asking other people to
Yeah.
donate, I will prove to you 100% of the time, Frank Cornetti wrote the check way before you did,
Yep.
for that cause, that event, that everything. I'll sponsor everything. I'll write a check for everything. Whatever it is that I'm asking you to do, I've already done tenfold,
Yep.
guaranteed.
I know. I mean, I know because I know you. I've been there. I've been around you. I know what you're. I've been involved in some of the technology stuff, making some of it come together. And
Yeah,
I know. I
appreciate
know.
that.
I've seen it. Like, and
Right.
people don't get that. Like, I think, I've never sold cars. Well, I did. I told you I sold one
Yeah.
one time and got fired. But like, if I were a guy doing 30 or 40 cars right now, or 20, or a gal doing 20, 30, 40 cars a month right now, and somebody came to me and said, hey, this is what I'm doing. What would you recommend, Ken, to get to another 20, 30%? I would say the very first thing you need to learn how to do is you need to learn how to be more charitable. You need to somehow figure out a way in your community to start doing things that are giving back to your community. Because
Right, but here's the
in a
problem.
car
Here's
sales,
the problem.
what's
But
that?
here's the problem. Here's the problem. You can't fake it.
No, I
That's
know.
the
I
problem,
agree. I agree with you.
right? So it has to be something that's your passion, right? If the Michael J. Fox Foundation is real big in your area, but that's not your passion,
No,
then don't get involved with it,
no,
right? If you can't find a reason, why you're doing it, right? If something deep down inside doesn't tell you, and it doesn't have to be all spiritual and everything, right? It doesn't have to be that to the core, but there has to be something inside of you that makes you emotional, right? There has to be something inside of you that drives you to want to help people selflessly, right? Not for to sell another car, not to, get your name out there anymore. I mean, it has to be something that fuels you, right?
I,
And
I
to
don't I
me,
don't I don't disagree, but I still think that look, it's a fundamental principle of life, no matter where you are in the world, that the more that you give to others, the more you get back. I'm not saying give for the purpose of receiving. Definitely give
see,
from
but
your heart.
giving just to give actually doesn't even work, right? Giving because you actually care
Right. That's what I
is where
mean.
is where it comes from, right? So
Totally
people
agree.
sometimes just give out of guilt, right? They'll write a check because they can. It's easy just listen, it's easy just to write a check and walk away and not see everything that's actually going on around you in your local community, right?
Yeah.
So it's easy, and I used to do it, right? I would just write the check,
Yep.
and then after a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm writing a lot of checks, and I
Yeah.
don't really know where it's going or who it's helping.
Right.
And then, a crazy thing happened to me at 35 years old. I found a huge lump in my neck Christmas Eve sitting down in my basement. Had no idea what it was. Didn't want to go to the doctor. Didn't want to figure it out. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just a gland. I'm looking on the other side of my neck trying to find the other gland, and it's not there, right? So you start Googling stuff and then WebMDing stuff, which is the worst thing in the world to do. Tells you
Yeah.
you're going to die tomorrow. You have, whatever the Ebola virus, whatever it's going to be, you're done. You have the Black Death. Okay. The
Right.
Black
It's
Death
over.
has repurposed itself from, 300 years ago, whatever it
Right.
was,
Right.
and you got it. Okay.
Right.
But going through everything that I went through from my diagnosis to, figuring out that I wasn't going to change anything I was doing, I was going to push through and battle through, to sitting with people in chemo, to, going through everything that I did with the people around me
Yeah.
taught me to slow down
Yep.
and to have more compassion for people and to actually listen and be patient, right? So that's kind of where it came from. So that's where I stopped just writing checks. I'm like, listen, I need to be more involved. Like I need to actually figure it out. That's when I started showing up at all these community events,
Yeah.
right? That's rather than just writing a check and like, I don't want to go to, Springfield Day or whatever it
Yep.
is, right? And it's Eagles football's on at 4 o'clock. I know this thing starts at 12, but I want to have a good time before the game.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
now I go to there
Yep.
because I actually care what goes on in the community, right?
Right.
I
Yep.
care. I have more compassion and patience for people and situations and
Yep.
really want to actually work you through the problem rather than just writing a check and saying go away because
Yep.
that's what happened. People give just to give so they go away,
Yep.
right? I don't want somebody to go away. I want to be involved. I want to try to figure out if there is something that I can do, either with my social influence
Yep.
or, some of the things that I've actually went through in life.
Yep.
And, like I said, when I tell you I'm not as pretty as I look, it's because I've went through a lot of shit in life,
Yeah.
right? That nobody wants to go through. Hasn't been all rainbows and roses and just
Right.
sitting there
Right.
taking pictures my whole life, right?
Right.
I'm not. It hasn't been okay.
Right.
So I know and I understand. I have perspective for people that are going through hard times, okay,
Yeah.
that are dealing with certain things. So that's what I wanted to do, and that's what will fuel your passion,
Yeah.
right? That's what it's
Agree.
all about. So you can't just write the check and say, "Hey, I donated. Hopefully, I get karma and get business now." That's not the way it works. That's like going to your cousin's wedding, right? Just to go sell cars. No, you go to your cousin's wedding because you love your cousin, right?
Right.
Because you're going to have a good time
Right.
and you want to give him a really good gift, right? Because it's
Right.
his wedding and it's his new life and everything.
Yeah.
You
Right.
don't go there with a stack of business cards in your pocket, right? You go there because you love your cousin.
That's like people
Because
coming on somebody else's live stream doing a bunch of self-promoting and you see it, I see it, like it's like, dude, no, that's not what this is about. Like that like stop. That's not what it's
right.
about.
Well, listen,
But
everything right now is get attention, keep attention. Okay,
I
that's
agree.
really what it's about, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be just for sales. It's for life in general, right? So
Yep.
get attention, keep attention is what I preach to all my students. Is what I
Yep.
preach to myself all the time, and it's just you don't have to be annoyingly in everybody's face, but you
Yeah.
have to show up, and you got to keep showing up. The problem is people show up for like a week or two, just like they go for the gym for like a week or two,
Yep.
and then they're like, I'm not seeing the results. Well, no kidding. You were just at Chick-fil-A and
Right.
you missed 3 days this week so far, and
Yeah.
it's week 2, and you're worried about you're not seeing the results, and you're already giving up, right?
Yep.
That's like making 3 phone calls and nobody answers. Like, see, nobody's
Doesn't
answering
work.
today.
Doesn't
Doesn't
work.
work. It doesn't work. You're right. It doesn't work. The more people you don't call, makes it easier for me. So
Right.
it's totally fine, right? Because then I can call them all. I'll call
Right.
them all. It's just like dealerships around my area that don't want to give people the information up front. Oh, keep doing business like that. It's going to work out for you. I promise. Just keep doing it. It's great.
Dude,
You
this
guys
guy,
are
hey.
awesome. I love you. You know why? Because everybody just comes to love
Look,
it. Make my life so much easier.
can you read that comment? That's Jason. I talked to him last night at midnight. He
Handed out
sells
cars.
cars.
Business bad move 6 years ago. Right. I mean, dude, hey, you got to do what you got to do. If
Dude,
that works for you, let me know.
he said it was a bad move. So look, man, I appreciate you hopping on. I was gonna make this a quick live stream, and it's been
Yeah,
not quick, but
two
it's
hours
been
later.
awesome, brother. You know I love you, man. Got all the love and respect in the world for you, man. You're killing it. Like you're
I'm gonna
just killing.
I'll send my bill for my half hour right to the Norman place.
Appreciate that. Yeah. Send it.
Yeah, you got it, buddy.
Send it. Yeah. I'll send the same
All
check I always send to the normal place.
right. Yeah, I can check the mailbox again. I'll be back.
All right. Love you,
All
dude.
right, love you guys. You're the best.
All right. We'll see you guys. Thanks a lot for jumping on. Don't hang up, Frank. We'll see you guys. Thank you to everybody for sharing this out too. See you guys later. There's that damn thumb.
That damn thumb.